Okay, so I thought I'd mix it up a little bit this weekend and make a dessert instead of a usual meal. So we're going to make white sugar sponge cake, which is a Chinese steamed cake. And it's only got a few ingredients. It's actually quite simple to make, but it's very flavorful. So the main source of the flavor here and the texture is yeast. So we're going to start with some active dry yeast. We want 8 grams. You can weigh it out, but it's easier to do volumetrically. It should say on the jar how much you need. In this case, it's 11 milliliters, 2 tablespoons, and 1/4 teaspoon. And then, like we're baking bread, we're going to proof it. So we're going to add some sugar to give it food. In this case, 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters, and then some water. And we want the water to be warm, but not too hot. So around 38 or 39 degrees is good. It shouldn't be any hotter than 40. So we want about 50 milliliters. And we'll just mix it up, and then we'll set that aside. Next, in a big bowl, weigh out 190 grams of rice flour. And then we're going to add 120 milliliters of cold water. And since I got the scale out, I'm just going to weigh it out. And then just stir this up. And we just want a rough paste. It'll still be pretty powdery, but just make sure everything is mixed as well as you can. And then we're going to take some boiling water, about 250 milliliters of boiling water, and we're going to pour 150 grams of sugar into it. So I've just done this in a measuring cup with a microwave. You can do it on a stove too, but this way is a little bit easier. And just stir to dissolve. And we want to make sure there's no crystals in there. It should be all nice and dissolved, and we should have a nice clear solution. And then we're just going to pour this while it's still hot into our flour mixture. And then mix it up so that there's no lumps. It should be quite smooth. Now this is going to be quite hot, so we want to cool it down. So I'm just going to put it in the freezer here for about 5 or 10 minutes. And by this point, if your yeast is still good, it should have foamed up like this. If you're like me and use too small a container, you might need to transfer it. So we want to check our flour mixture. Again, it shouldn't be over 40 degrees because we want it to not kill the yeast. So we're going to add our yeast mixture to the flour and sugar mixture. Just make sure it's well mixed, and then we want to leave it somewhere warm where the yeast will have a chance to act on the sugars in there. So I'm going to put it in my oven, which was just left on for a little bit and then turned off for about 40 minutes, and it should be nice and foamy. Next, we're going to steam this. Here I'm using a wok. A pot will work too. So if you have one, a bamboo steamer is great for this. You can also do it in a cake pan inside a pot. So just line it with parchment paper, and then we'll pour a mixture in there. And basically, all of the carbon dioxide from the yeast is going to make nice big bubbles in there. And then as it cooks, the bubbles are going to get trapped. So we're going to get lots of nice air pockets, which gives us the great texture of the cake. So just put the lid on, and then we're going to steam it for 25 minutes. And then when you take it out, it should look something like this. So remove it from the steamer and let it cool, and then you can slice and serve. And if you've done everything right, it should have this lovely porous structure you can see here, as well as both a sweet and a distinct yeasty sour taste, which is really lovely. So this is one of my favorite desserts, and I hope you enjoy it.